one of my Instagram followers asked me to help with the part of the dress, basically with a certain detail of the dress, which is a collar. So, and she sent me this picture. And I found it interesting to actually add it to the YouTube lesson. So the idea of the collar, a scarf idea. So it looks like the scarf was put on the shoulders and it continues into the sleeve. So it's basically a sleeve with the slit at the front, and the collar itself look like the scarf. I just want to show the dress, so I'm using just a close-fitted dress. You may cut it from your patterns, if you have existing patterns, if you have the basic slope or the basic block, or you can even renew your old dress with some interesting detail. So we start from outlining the yoke. So the scarf is happening on the right shoulder, so it comes from this part and hanging here. So we have two details. One is basically the collar with the yoke, and another one will be the sleeve. So, and I will now outline the yoke. So we use draping tape. You can actually also, if you have black color dress, you may also even draw with the tailor chalk here. So let's outline it like this. So this will be the cutting line. This will be the cutting line. So I'm not going to cut it now because we can drape. We just use the line and we'll drape on this line. So here, so to imitate the scarf, we are going to go away from the neck. So we'll have this kind of style. So we continue further to the back. For example, so, and you may also consider in this dress the shoulder is more opened, so you may consider also the shoulder transferring the armhole outline further towards the neck. So the shoulder is smaller. So it's not necessary, but just follow the picture. So this dress was draped, and we have seam allowances added here. So this. So and now I have a piece of fabric. Let me see how it looks. so it's fine. So I have a piece of fabric. So basically we will go around this style line which is just outlined, and we have to have them. It's a big piece, it's one piece, as I said, you're going to make one piece. So, and you have to have a big piece of fabric, enough to go around. So you can measure, otherwise you can follow my measurements. So about 75 here on grain line. It actually doesn't matter, grain line or cross grain. So you may consider 75 on grain line and 20-21 on cross grain. Or 75 on cross grain, 20-21 on grain line. Here it doesn't matter how you follow your grain line. So we start, so I will mark now the middle of this piece. So I have a choke here, or I just use a pin here. So, and we start from here. So you see the fabric should be enough. So basically we do the collar and then we continue into the yoke. So this part will not be existing. You will just cut away this part that we outline, so with 1 centimeter seam allowance. That's it. So, and we start from the shoulder point. So this middle part, so this indication of the middle of the piece, will be connected with the shoulder. And now I will make a big cut towards this pin. So looking at the picture and evaluating the proportions, I'm deciding that my collar will be 6 centimeters wide here. 6, 7. 6, 7. So, and we connect this point. Let me measure. So I will tell you exactly my measurements. So 7, so I will cut a little bit further. So, and I will connect now this point on the style line, on the crossroad with the shoulder. So we pin. We inserted the pin here. So, and then this will be the yoke part. So we start from the back. So what I am going to do now. So you see, this is what will remind us of the scarf. So it has this distance between the neck and the scarf or the scarf collar, and then it follows towards the shoulder. So, and now I will cut, I will make these slashes. So, and we are going to drape into this style line. So just look at this part, right? So it stands. So we just follow the picture, as I said. It stands here. The collar stands. It looks like stand collar at this part. So, and then just continue. I cut quite big piece, which is not so necessary, but at the front it will be different. So the collar should be draped well. it stands also here. You should not, you should have the distance between the neck and the collar. For this collar you will have, you should find a proper selection, should consider a good fabrics. It should not be soft, it should be stable fabric. So, and now we are coming to this point. So basically what I'm going to do, so we are imitating this cup. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place this part, I go towards the front a little bit, and when I evaluate the picture here, the collar, we don't see this edge of the collar on the picture, so therefore we just go towards the front. Basically we come to the shoulder point here, right? So the collar will look like this here. So I'm inserting the pins into the style. I continue. So the collar stands here, and then it becomes, basically it becomes a yoke. So now this part is actually already a yoke, right? And I will fix it here. Make sure that everything is smooth here. This part should be smooth, It's important. So you can still improve the shape. But we almost done at the back. So now let's go to the front. So what we see here, so you see how the collar is behaving here. So we come to the front. Easy. So we continue from here, from the same point, and we go towards the right side. So I'm carefully slashing towards the style line. So we make sure that the collar stands here, so that the line is vertical. By pushing the fabric away from the style line, I'm improving the collar shape. So it must stand nicely. So we continue. Again, very careful. So because here what we don't want is to have our collar very close to the neck. So it's important to have a good distance between the neck and the collar. So you see basically 1.52 centimeters already here. So, and we continue. So, and now, so slash often so that you will have a nice style line and nice collar standing. So, and you see what we are going to do. Basically, to imitate the scarf, I'm going to overlap here, so we have the scarf-like detail from the back, right? And I'm going to overlap this part. So we go towards the back, right? And this part we will have just the body visible a little bit. So we follow the picture. So this is what we are going to do, right? And now we have to improve to drape very nicely this part. So we continue slashing the fabric, right? And making sure that the collar stands well. So the collar here, maybe we should move it more down here. So now the collar from a certain point becomes a yoke. Let me quickly fix the style line so we drape now quickly into the style and then we evaluate the collar. So I did overlap, and you see this is what's happening, and we are going to improve it. Mm-hmm. So let's evaluate what's happening here. So let's see how we see the collar. You see, now I will turn the side, so you see that the collar here has enough space, right, between the, so we have the distance between the neck and the collar, which is very good, very nice. And now we almost there, so we almost done. So if you still want to improve, right, maybe here a little bit more distance, so then it depends on you, right, so what you want. So a little bit more distance I created now, and almost nice here. Just move the line, the pins. Looks very good, right? Looks very good. You can see the collar smoothly going from the stand part into the yoke part. So, and now what we have to do? We have to mark the collar, and the collar is done. So now we just mark the collar. So we are transferring the style line, the visible red style line, onto the collar. So you may start from anywhere, right? I'm using the marker, so you will see clearly the line. It's so good to see if there is any problem with the collar. Here it goes into the armhole, so the collar looks well. So here you should mark the shoulder line, yes, and we will notch it later, and then we continue at the back. Right, and we also mark this point, so the overlapping, right, so you have to mark on this part, and we mark the armhole, so the edge of the arm plate, right, and here I'm marking this part, right? So another notch, there will be notch here, and then another notch to indicate the edge of the front of the back yoke. So that's it, the collar is finished. So I placed the collar back onto the dress form. So with seam allowance, so this is our shape. So I keep seam allowance 1 centimeter. And now we are going to make a sleeve. The sleeve has a cut, the sleeve has a kind of a slit at the front, so I follow the picture as I said, and it's not really a sleeve. It's something between the sleeve and the cape. So, and we can try to drape it on the mannequin, on the dress form. So I have a piece of fabric which is this one. It's a little bit irregular because I have some leftovers, and the width is about 40-45 centimeters, and the length of the piece is the length of the sleeve, basically, so you can measure your arm. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to place this fabric. So the grain line of course is here, so I indicate the grain line is here. So, and I'm going to place it here. So I'm reminding you that I have the dress here with the normal basic armhole, so with 1 centimeter seam allowance here and here. It's indicated as well on the collar, on the yoke, right, on the yoke. So, and I'm going to follow my shape. So we're going to use the armhole. So, and now I'm placing this piece here, so a little bit up the arm plate, and since I evaluated approximately where we are going to have the slit, so it's somewhere here, on the front side of the sleeve, so close to the front. So, and somewhere here. So, and now I will pin it here. So I will explain what we are going to do now. So we are going to copy this part of the armhole, this one, the lower part of the armhole. So, and it will happen on this fabric here. So now, to be able to reach the bottom part, yes, I have to cut. I have to cut towards the armhole. So, let me see. So a little bit further, right? And I will also cut some parts, so it will be easier to prepare. And from this part. So by this, I'm kind of prepare, right, the shape for the bottom part of the sleeve. So now we can easily copy. So I will put it here, right? If you don't start like this, you will not be able to understand how much you have to have here, right? How much you still have to have here. So it's important to place the piece of fabric as I showed. So, and now I will copy. So to copy this part of the armhole, so from side seam you go about 6 centimeters towards the front and about 6 centimeters, 6-7 towards the back. So, and if you need so, and I also watch that my grain line, so the grain line is actually not really vertical, tends towards the front, slightly tends towards the front. This is what you have to watch. This is related very much to the sleeve, but this is big topics. Now it's not that important. I'm telling you, you have to watch this, and now we continue pinning, copying the bottom part of the armhole. If you still need to, actually I cut very well, so it goes almost on the proper armhole line. So, and my last pin comes here. So now I'm going to dip them. So 6-7 centimeters to this side and 6-7 centimeters towards the front. So we copied the armhole. So now I look at the front and I'm now going to create the sleeve head. And as I said, we will have a slit somewhere here. Let me see. So now I watch this line, so I watch the sleeve. As I said, the sleeve is tending towards the front. Yes, you see the angle here. So, and I will try to drape this part. So, which is, so my pin is, I feel my pin here and I continue. And I have to now fold this piece and follow the line of the armhole. So later you can remove. Now I will make it roughly. And we can remove some parts from here. It is not that easy. And this part, you see I'm folding and roughly pin. So now I think that this is too much because the slit is happening closer to the front. Even more. We will shape it later, now we just so maybe something like this. So basically you don't even need to shape now this part. I will cut it away. And trim the seam allowance here. So one side is basically finished. So later we will trim. I will just cut. Okay. So let's continue and do the back part. So I will remove this pin because I think it's a bit too far. So, and we will see. So what's going to happen here? So we are going to overlap the sleeve. This part we will overlap the part which is draped already. So it will be something like this. So let me see. So here we will have the entrance or the exit, right? So and the sleeve will look more or less like this. So now I have to just properly drape this part. Here we are going to create some gathers because the sleeve head need some ease and gathers. So I'm folding again roughly. And now we continue. Here. So I'm going to, now I am going to improve some parts. So that the sleeve here, right, looks smooth. And I'm adding a little bit of ease already here. So now we will see what's happening in here and remove unnecessary part. This is how it looks. So, and I have to trim it to 1 centimeter seam allowance. You have your folds, right, visible, so and trim it just to 1.2 centimeter. So the ease starts on the back already. And overlapping, so now we are trimming. I'm trimming roughly. So let's see what we have here, and to finally decide on the shape. I have the feeling we have to make it more open, something like that. So. I think this point is fine, and we only have to trim this one, right? The sleeve looks like a scarf. It should not be wide, so it looks tiny, quite tiny. So we made a sleeve. The head is actually quite rough, right? I will mark it from here to here, so I will mark it, and then we have to measure the armhole and we have to measure the head of the sleeve. So you have to have something like 1.5 centimeter difference. And this 1.5 centimeter will provide you a good shape for the sleeve. So, knowing your shoulder point, right, the real shoulder point, you have to measure from the shoulder point towards the front about 7 centimeters, mark 7-8 centimeters, mark both sides, right? Same here, same here, same here, and on the table you will measure the armhole, right? The length of the armhole from this point through the shoulder towards this point, and the same thing you do with the sleeve head. So I will mark now the sleeve head, because the shape, the final shape will be improved on the table using the ruler. This is just rough. Yeah. So, and then you compare. So somewhere 1.5, maximum 2 centimeters. If you have softer fabric, so it will be used for little gathers to provide the sleeve shape on the head. So what I forgot to mention, so here on my dress form I have a kind of a shoulder and arm, the beginning of the arm, right? So if you don't have this, if your arm plate is flat, you have to add something. The best thing is to add the arm, which very often people have separately from the dress form, of course, right? So, and then you make all these things that you just saw. If you don't have this, maybe you have to add some padding here to imitate the shoulder, the real shoulder, the human shoulder, and then do all this what I have shown, right? So here on the lower part of the sleeve, I copy the arm, the armhole, right, and the same here, and the same here, and I see my folds, so I can show the shape. So this is how our sleeve look. If you have the side seam, you also transfer the side seam position onto the sleeve here. So I will do it now also. And you have the marking, which will help you to insert the sleeves, right? Our markings here. So I trimmed the seam allowance to 1 centimeter. Now the sleeve is pinned to the dress form. You may still adjust if needed, right? My sleeve looks fine. I measured what I said, so this distance between the marked points, and I have 1.8 centimeters difference, 1.8, which is fine. So for kind of muslin fabric, for soft fabric, it's absolutely fine. What else? So the basically you have the sleeve, you have the collar, and the yoke is one piece together, right? What you have to do in the end, before you remove it and cut from the real fabric, from the actual fabric, I just remind you that here you have to still add some notches on this big collar yoke part. So, because we have a curve here, right, at the front, to be able to stitch, to connect the dress and the collar, well, you have to make notches, you have to add notches, basically. With this curve, maybe 7-8 centimeters here, on the more curvy part, even more. The same adding notches here, even more, right? So of course the shoulder notch you have, right? So at the back the line is more easy, so you have to add maybe every 7-8 centimeters the notches, right? And of course you have to transfer these notches onto the dress part, right? Then you will have it well connected, right? So you have to have these notches, right? The marking. You have to have this notch, right? Side seam notch on the sleeve, and you have to have the shoulder notch. I recommend the real shoulder, so the transferring this shoulder line, right? The normal shoulder, and having the notch here, and also you have to notch this part, right? The connection of the yolks, right? Another notch. This will be just helpful, right? So, and that's it. So we finish what we plan. So regarding making part, so you can also make a bit different placement of the sleeve, maybe a bit more down, right? So it depends what you want. So, and I just want to tell about making part. Yoke and collar can be cut with 2 pieces, and you will have then 2 pieces stitched on this straight line. This is actually straight cut here, so you have to add 1 centimeter seam allowance here, right? You have it as a normal collar. You have always 2 pieces, the collar and the under collar, so you will have 2 pieces here. And the sleeve you have, of course, 1 piece. So then you have to add, I don't know what, maybe you have to have facing here. Of course, facing maybe is better, right? Facing you will have, right? Just maybe 2.5, 3 centimeters, so 4 centimeters around, right? You cut facing and trim it with facing here. And that's it. So your sleeve and the collar looks nice. And I think I helped this woman, so she can now make the dress.